Hello, I'm Matteo, the Chief Mobile Opinionist here at Tech Travel Geeks. And this is the Tech Travel Geeks setup experience video of the Vivo Y70 smartphone, which Vivo have very kindly provided us as a review unit. This is a follow-up video to our unboxing video, which we published yesterday. If you don't already, please do subscribe to the Tech Travel Geeks here on YouTube. You'll be notified if you hit that notification bell of any new videos we publish. And we tend to cover consumer electronics that we believe make the travel experience better. But recently we've started doing a bit more about staying at home, and you'll notice that Lukasz has also published his unboxing of his amazing Samsung display. Right then, so we walked through the hardware on the Vivo Y70 in our unboxing video. What we're going to do now is pop open that SIM tray. This is the SIM tray that we looked at in the unboxing, which provides space for 2 nano SIM cards, or 1 nano SIM card and a micro SD card, or 2 nano SIM cards and a micro SD card. You don't have to make the difficult choice between nano SIM and memory card. You can have the best of both, dual SIM and micro SD, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to expand the inbuilt 128GB storage of the device with an extra 64GB SanDisk Extreme memory card. Now, I've already turned on the device. We saw this in the unboxing video. This is the start screen where we start off setting up our device. Now, by default, it's considering we're in Germany, that's not actually true. We're still in Europe until the 31st of December, but I'm going to scroll down to United Kingdom and select that. So I agree to the Vivo end user license agreement, and if you haven't already, please do read through that while setting up your device. It is extremely important and something we all do. And also the privacy statement about how Vivo uses your data, where it sends it to, and what it uses to do. Essentially, it's all about making your overall smartphone experience better, and through analytics, improving their software going forward. So I'm going to connect to my Wi-Fi network now. So there we are, I'm connected to my Planet Express Wi-Fi network. Now it's connecting to Google and to Vivo to perform a few checks. This is a very nice premium smartphone that we saw in the unboxing. In this case, this is Oxygen Blue, the Vivo Y70 in Oxygen Blue, which is pretty much pearlescent. It's a lovely pearly finish, and it feels very, very premium with its glass back setup. Okay then, so I'm now connected to Wi-Fi, and here we are with our setup options. I'm not going to set this up as a backup from an Android phone or copying data over from my iPhone. I'm going to set this up as a new device. I'll tap on Don't Copy. I want to go through the full experience because I think this is a really nice smartphone, and going through the setup experience gives you more of an idea of what it's actually like. Okay then, so we've just gone through the quick check for updates. There seems to be nothing available. I'm going to sign in with my Google account now. So there we are. I'm now signed into my Google account, and it's now getting the account information and setup. So the typing experience, as I've gone through typing in my password for my Wi-Fi network and my Google credentials, is pretty nice and smooth. My first impression is that this is likely to be Google's keyboard, Gboard. But there's no haptic feedback, which is something I choose to do. And you can see that it now is suggesting that I perform a backup from one of my active devices. I am not going to do that. I'm not going to restore that. I am going to move on to the Google services and accept them all. In Google we trust. And now we have what is quite common in the European Union, is we have a ballot screen to choose between Bing, Google, Privacy Wall, and info.com. In this case, I'm going to set up the Vivo Y70 with the most commonly used search engine, in this case, Google. So I'm going to continue setup. There's going to be a few more details that we can put through. I have to say the Google Assistant setup is as we expect. I'm going to choose the weather, news, a quote, and a funny joke every day. And I have to say the screen, this Full HD Plus display, this AMOLED display is lovely. I'm now going to go ahead and set up Google Assistant. I'm lucky, I've already done it multiple times, so they already have my voice imprint. The Vivo Y70 has NFC. You can use this to make contactless payments in stores. So I'm going to allow Google Pay to go through with its setup. And that's pretty much it. I'm ready to go. Just before we finish the setup itself, I'm going to go and set up my fingerprint. Before I do that, I need to set up a PIN number. Okay, so we've set up a PIN number, and now we get into setting up a fingerprint for unlocking the screen. So there's an extra privacy statement from earlier this year about the fact that the data is stored on the device, not in the cloud. So no one else has access to your fingerprint, just a chip on device. And you can see there's a little fingerprint space in the screen of the Vivo Y70. I'm going to start tapping that. And as I do so, you can see that there's a light going through my thumb. That's because that's not an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. This is one of those light-based ones. So it's taking my fingerprint from bouncing light through the screen onto my finger and then reading the light that comes back or gets bounced back at it. So I've set up my fingerprint scanner. It's now asking me if I would like to add a face, because it does have face unlock using that selfie camera at the top in the water drop notch. So I have entered my PIN number, and it's now giving me a quick warning that you have to make sure that the clear facial image is registered and avoid doing it in low light. So I'm going to start adding my face. I agree to the privacy terms. So you can see my camera's there, but this is definitely not my face. So there we go. That was pretty fast and painless. So it's suggesting we do our updates of some key apps that are pre-installed. You see there's no bloatware here, it's all the basic Google apps. And so this is going to take a few minutes whilst it happens, but it can carry on going in the background. That Snapdragon 665 chipset is more than capable enough of doing so. So there we go. We've logged into the screen, and my first impression is, wow, that AMOLED display, that OLED display is stunning. It's nice saturated colors, really sharp for the size of screen that this is. It is a lovely, lovely device. And this is a diagonally 6.44 inch display. So really impressed here. As you can see in the background from the notifications, we see that my MasterCard has been set up for use with Google Pay, and that apps are installing in the background here. Now I'm going. Oh, I said the G word. So Google is updating the Play Store and the apps within it. So don't rush into doing things if this is what you're doing during your setup. It may need to restart the Play Store itself whilst it gets updated. And now we're looking at the apps updating in the background over my Wi-Fi. And you can see there are a few extra pre-installed apps other than the Google ones. So for example, TikTok's there, that's great. I can watch my silly cat and dog videos on TikTok later. Let's have a walk around FunTouchOS. And before we do that, we'll check what actual version of FunTouchOS this is. So System, or actually About Phone. So we see that this is the 8 GB of RAM, 128 GB of storage device, that this is FunTouchOS 11 Global, and a few more details about the fact that it's based on Android 10 and so forth. So great start to seeing that it's all there. And as you can see, the settings menu is very, very familiar. This is not too distant relative to Google's own Android experience. You can see that in the drop down for notifications and the shade for your settings. You can see that in the launcher itself, so you have your home screen and horizontal scrolling with an app drawer. And if you scroll to the left, you'll see that you get the Google News feed or the Google feed. So I have to say, this is a pretty familiar, comfortable experience for me. You have everything you'd expect. Let's have a look through the pre-installed apps and see what they're. So YouTube Music, great, that's my music player. You have YouTube. TikTok, this is an outsider that's been pre-installed, but a welcome one from me. One of my guilty pleasures is actually watching content on TikTok occasionally. Instagram's there, Facebook's there. So it's not just the Google apps. This Vivo Y70, as it comes out of the box, has a few extras there. And they're probably ones most people will be wanting to use anyway, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. Now let's check and see if you can actually uninstall those. So I'm going to long press on Facebook, look at the app info, and we have an uninstall button that's available. So it's going through the uninstall, which means that yes, the preloaded applications on the device are uninstallable. This is taking a while because there's also stuff going on in the background with Google Play. Whilst this is finishing, I'll go around in the background and see what else is happening in the Google Play Store. Now you'll see it's a nice white screen. You can see that water drop notch at the top that houses the 16 megapixel selfie camera. You'll see this is a white screen, a screen with details in it. So what I'm going to do is go into settings, find the display settings, display and brightness, and switch on the dark theme. This is common to Android 10 devices, and Vivo, in my view, have made this very, very convenient in FunTouch OS. It's really easy to switch on and gives you a nice overall experience with dark mode. That means, in my case, my eyes get less tired, and also you save a bit of battery. You'll see that my Google search bar has gone black, and now the notification and settings shade is black as well. So you get a dark mode pretty consistently throughout your smartphone experience, even the Google Play Store. So I'm happy with that. And I have to say, overall, this, despite having stuff going on in the background, is performing very, very well. That Snapdragon 665 doesn't seem to be lagging too much. In terms of display, this is a lovely AMOLED display. I'm really, really liking that. So first impressions are very, very positive. The Vivo Y70 feels like a premium smartphone with nice specifications, good build quality, decent software. We'll be covering this more extensively on the Tech Travel Geeks YouTube channel with some follow-up videos, including a full long-term review. If you don't already, please do subscribe to the Tech Travel Geeks here on YouTube. We'll be providing you with more videos about consumer electronics, which make the travel experience better. And I almost forgot. I'd better put that jelly case that came with the Vivo Y70 on. And this is a small thing, but one that I think is really important to most people. Make sure you keep your devices safe by protecting them with a case. The Vivo Y70 comes with a screen protector pre-installed, and you have a nice little jelly case that shows off that pearlescent oxygen blue color. But for now, as I was saying, thanks for watching, and we'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.